Okay, in this video, what I want to talk about is the entry bridge offer framework. This is a framework that I've come up with over a few years now of working with my clients, and it also relies on something called the 7-11-4 principle, which was, I believe, originally discovered by Google, and they did a lot of research into marketing and how consumers are now not only consuming your content, but also getting to the point where they become a customer. And what Google found was that you need to have, or customers need to have consumed 7 hours of your content across 11 touch points via 4 different channels or locations, right? So Google discovered all this. They wrote quite a bit of information about it, and a guy called Daniel Priestley, who you've probably heard of, has essentially taken that and made it very popular. And so I learned this from Daniel Priestley and looked into it myself as well. And I then started to think about this. Well, how am I actually working with my clients in terms of their marketing, their systems, and their offers? Well, I created the entry bridge offer. So what is the entry bridge offer framework? Your entry point, I'll zoom in here a little bit. Your entry point is, first of all, short form content, right? That is your social media. For example, Instagram Reels, posts, carousels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, things like that. It's all short form content. But what it also is, you've got entry points into your world, basically, is lead magnets. Now, these lead magnets need to be quick and easily digestible. Therefore, a good entry point lead magnet is something like a quiz. Again, something that Daniel Priestley does. He's got a Score app, and he created scorecards, or basically quiz funnels. So these are really, really good because they're really quick and easy to do, and the person gets an immediate result from filling out that quiz or that assessment. It can also be PDFs. However, these are not PDF guides that are 30 pages long. They're literally PDF checklists or little mini blueprints. Something that is easy for somebody to consume quickly, get value from, right? And once we get somebody to download a lead magnet or see our content, we need to take them to the next step. We need something that's going to get them onto our email list, which is our lead magnets. And we want to take them to a bridge. Now, what is a bridge? A bridge is usually long form content. This is your podcast, if you've got one. This is YouTube videos. And now this piece of content that you're looking at right now, that you're watching, is a bridge, right? I took you from probably Instagram with a bit of short form content, and you opted in to get access to this video. So this is a bridge. It can also be webinars, right? Because that's long form content as well. You could do a 5-day challenge within a group setting. You could have a mini course, maybe hosted on something like School, and also an email nurture sequence. That is also a form of a bridge. because you're putting them through a specific sequence and giving more value, and they're getting to know you, they're consuming more content over a longer period of time, right? And the final step of this framework is the offer. So how do you take somebody from your long form content to your offer? And usually you would have, in this stage, a landing page, possibly a VSL, an offer doc. And what you're trying to do with any of these is get them onto a sales call or make a purchase, right? So that essentially is the 3-step framework of entry, bridge, and offer. Now, in this gap here, okay, we need to do a little bit more to try and get them to the offer. There's certain things that we might want to have in place. You might not be able to take them straight from your long form into a sales call. But what we can do is we can set up things like waitlists to get people to raise their hand to show more interest. We can offer a free call, right, just to help them out. Or we could have a lower ticket product, something that is relatively inexpensive that gets a little bit more buy-in from them before we take them to the full offer, which is probably going to be your higher ticket, right? And that's it. That's all we need to do. Okay. And when I work with my clients, what I recommend is that they're already doing short form content. They're already putting content out onto socials. They've probably already got a lead magnet or two that either is working okay and they're generating some leads from. So what we want to do is bridge that gap. And so I recommend that we take their top performing content, we take their lead magnets that are generally working well right now, and either repurpose them or just use those and run some campaigns, put some content out into the world, push that lead magnet to get them onto your email list, and then provide them with the long form content. And if they haven't got any long form content, then I recommend creating a training on something that is very closely related to one of your lead magnets. So if your lead magnet is all about nutrition and nutrition around, for example, training for a big event, then we want that long form content to also be based on that, because it's the next step, right? It's the next practical step for them to take. They've consumed the entry content, the short form content, they've got the lead magnet, it's been easy for them to fill out, to get access to and to consume. And now we take them into a long form piece of content that really breaks that idea down even further. And again, a little bit meta here, I've done exactly the same thing with this video here. I'm explaining how this works, how this framework works, but I first spoke about it in short form. So what I recommend you do right now is look at your existing lead magnets and see if you can then create a longer form piece of content on that. You might already have longer form bits of content based on these. You might already have a podcast episode. You might have already done a webinar in the past or a pre-recorded video training. Let's connect that to your entry point, your lead magnet. And that might be straight from them opting in and getting that lead magnet and taking them straight to that long form piece of content, or you might put them into an email nurture sequence first and link to that long form piece of content. Anyway, that's the entry, bridge, offer framework. If you'd like to find out a little bit more, or you want some help with implementing this, then shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to help.